Aging is often described as a time of wisdom, experience, and newfound freedom. But what many people do not realize is that getting older comes with unexpected changes that are not always easy to talk about. These changes are not just physical. They can affect emotions, behaviors, and even relationships in ways that catch people off guard. For many, growing older means adapting to a body that does not always cooperate the way it used to. It means adjusting to shifts in mood, energy, and perception. Some of these changes can be frustrating, while others may lead to behaviors that are difficult to explain. Even those experiencing them may not fully understand what is happening, which can make things even more complicated. The truth is, aging is not always graceful. It comes with moments that are uncomfortable, confusing, and sometimes even embarrassing. What makes it harder is that few people talk openly about these experiences. Many seniors find themselves dealing with challenges they never expected, wondering if they are alone in what they are going through. In this video, we are going to explore 8 behaviors that tend to appear as people age but are rarely discussed. These are not just small quirks or personality shifts. They are real changes that can affect daily life, relationships, and overall well-being. More importantly, understanding them can help make aging feel less isolating and more manageable. Whether you are experiencing these behaviors yourself or have noticed them in a loved one, knowing what to expect can make all the difference. Some of these changes might seem harmless at first, but over time, they can create frustration for both seniors and those around them. Others may be signs of deeper health concerns that should not be ignored. By recognizing them early, it becomes easier to find ways to adapt and navigate this stage of life with more confidence. Stay with me until the end, because the behaviors we are about to discuss may surprise you. They are the things that no one warns you about, but knowing about them now can help prepare you for the road ahead. Understanding these changes is the first step to managing them, and in some cases, even preventing unnecessary struggles. So let's begin. The first unspoken challenge: increased irritability and agitation. Aging is often associated with wisdom and patience, but in reality, many people experience a shift in mood that they never saw coming. Small frustrations that were once easy to ignore may suddenly feel overwhelming. The noise from the television, a minor change in plans, or even a simple conversation can trigger unexpected irritation. This can be confusing not just for the person going through it, but also for those around them. The reasons behind this change are complex. One of the biggest factors is how the brain processes emotions over time. As certain cognitive functions slow down, patience can wear thin more quickly. Tasks that were once effortless now take more energy, and that extra effort can lead to frustration. Physical discomfort, chronic pain, or even a lack of quality sleep can also contribute to a shorter temper. When the body does not feel as strong as it once did, even routine activities can become sources of stress. Another major factor is a growing sense of loss. Many seniors begin to feel like they are losing control over their lives. Whether it is adjusting to retirement, dealing with physical limitations, or feeling left out of conversations that move too fast, these experiences can bring up emotions that are difficult to process. When independence starts to feel threatened, frustration can surface in unexpected ways. On top of this, changes in brain chemistry play a role. Some people experience shifts in hormone levels that make it harder to regulate emotions. Others may be dealing with early signs of neurological conditions that affect mood and behavior. What might look like simple grumpiness could actually be a sign something deeper is happening. For loved ones, these changes can be difficult to navigate. It is easy to take irritation personally, but understanding the root causes can help ease tension. Instead of reacting to an outburst, recognizing that it may come from pain, frustration, or anxiety can change the way these moments are handled. Patience, clear communication, and a willingness to listen can make a huge difference. For those experiencing these mood shifts, small adjustments can help regain a sense of control. Prioritizing rest, engaging in activities that bring a sense of purpose, and finding healthy outlets for frustration can make a noticeable impact. Something as simple as light exercise, deep breathing, or talking with someone who understands can help reset emotions before they spiral. Irritability and agitation are not just personal struggles. They affect relationships, self-perception, and overall quality of life. Recognizing them as part of the aging process rather than an unsolvable problem is the first step to managing them. With the right strategies, these moments of frustration do not have to define daily life. They can be addressed, understood, and even reduced. As we continue, we will explore another surprising behavior that tends to appear with age, one that can be just as confusing and often misunderstood. The second unspoken challenge: paranoia and suspicion. Aging brings many changes, some of which affect how a person perceives the world. One of the more unsettling shifts that can happen is an increase in paranoia or suspicion. Someone who was once trusting and easygoing may begin to feel uneasy about things that never seemed concerning before. They may become convinced that people are talking behind their back, that money or belongings are being stolen, or that someone is trying to deceive them. These thoughts can feel very real to the person experiencing them, even when there is no evidence to support them. This behavior can be difficult for both the individual and those around them. Family members, caregivers, and friends often find themselves in confusing situations, trying to reassure their loved one that nothing is wrong. The frustration grows when logical explanations do not seem to help. No matter how much reassurance is given, the person may still believe they are being wronged. There are several reasons why paranoia can develop with age. One of the most common is cognitive decline. As memory and reasoning skills weaken, the brain struggles to make sense of everyday events. If someone forgets where they placed an item, they might assume that it was stolen. If they misremember a conversation, they may think someone is lying to them. These misunderstandings can fuel anxiety and lead to false conclusions. Another factor is changes in vision and hearing. When a person cannot see or hear as clearly as they once did, their mind begins to fill in the gaps. Shadows in a dimly lit room might look like figures lurking in the distance. Muffled voices from the television or conversations in another room may sound like whispers or secret discussions. The brain tries to make sense of these distorted inputs, sometimes leading to paranoia. Social isolation can make these feelings even worse. Many seniors spend more time alone as they age, which can lead to overthinking and dwelling on negative thoughts. Without regular social interaction, the mind may become more focused on fear and suspicion. A lack of companionship can create a breeding ground for paranoia, making even small situations feel threatening. In some cases, underlying medical conditions play a role. Neurological diseases, including dementia and Alzheimer's, can lead to paranoia as the brain changes over time. Some medications can also contribute to increased suspicion, especially if they affect brain chemistry or cause confusion as a side effect. Identifying these triggers can help determine the best way to address the issue. For family members and caregivers, handling paranoia requires patience. Dismissing concerns outright can make the person feel unheard, which only increases their anxiety. Instead of arguing, acknowledging their feelings and gently guiding them toward logical explanations can be more effective. Creating a consistent routine, ensuring good lighting, and limiting exposure to unsettling news can also help reduce anxiety. For those experiencing paranoia, staying engaged in activities that stimulate the mind can be helpful. Regular social interactions, whether through family visits, community events, or even simple phone calls, can provide reassurance and distraction from fearful thoughts. Seeking professional guidance, especially when paranoia interferes with daily life, can also make a significant difference. This is one of the more challenging aspects of aging, but it is not something that has to take over a person's life. By recognizing the signs early and approaching them with understanding, it is possible to manage these feelings and create an environment that feels safer and more predictable. Next, we will look at another common but rarely discussed behavior that can emerge with age, one that often causes frustration for both seniors and their loved ones. The third unspoken challenge: hoarding and difficulty letting go of possessions. Aging brings many emotional and psychological shifts, one of which is an increasing difficulty in letting go of objects. What may seem like simple clutter to others can hold deep emotional value for someone who has lived through decades of memories. Some seniors begin holding on to old newspapers, expired food, worn-out clothing, or even broken items that serve no practical purpose. In extreme cases, this behavior can turn into full-scale hoarding, where the living space becomes overcrowded and difficult to navigate. At first, this tendency may not seem like a serious issue. A few extra boxes in the garage or a closet filled with outdated belongings might be dismissed as harmless. However, as time passes, the accumulation can become overwhelming. It can create safety hazards, limit mobility, and lead to unhealthy living conditions. Stacks of paper and unused household items can increase the risk of falls, while excessive clutter can make it harder to maintain cleanliness, raising concerns about hygiene and overall well-being. The reasons behind this behavior are often rooted in deep emotional needs. One of the most significant factors is a fear of loss. Many seniors have already experienced the loss of friends, family members, careers, and a sense of independence. Holding on to physical objects can become a way of maintaining control, preserving memories, or creating a sense of security. Letting go of even small items may feel like losing a piece of the past, which can be deeply unsettling. Another reason is a shift in decision-making abilities. Cognitive decline, even in its early stages, can make it harder to determine what is necessary and what is not. For some, the thought of sorting through years' worth of possessions can feel overwhelming. The process of deciding what to keep and what to discard requires mental energy that may not come as easily as it once did. As a result, avoiding the task altogether feels like the simpler option. In some cases, hoarding behaviors may stem from a lifelong habit that intensifies with age. Those who grew up in times of financial hardship may have learned to save everything for fear of future scarcity. Even when their circumstances improve, that mindset can remain. The idea of throwing something away feels like wasting resources, leading to an unwillingness to part with even the most insignificant objects. For family members and caregivers, addressing hoarding can be challenging. Simply telling someone to clean out their home is rarely effective. The items they are holding onto often represent much more than just physical objects. Instead of pushing for immediate change, a better approach is to offer gentle support and gradual solutions. Encouraging small steps, such as organizing one area at a time, can make the process feel less overwhelming. Helping someone see the benefits of decluttering can also be effective. A cleaner and more organized space can reduce stress, improve safety, and create a more comfortable living environment. Reassuring them that cherished memories are not tied to objects, but rather to the experiences and relationships they have built, can ease some of the emotional resistance. For those struggling with this tendency themselves, starting with small actions can make a big difference. Setting a goal to donate 1 or 2 items each week, rather than attempting a major cleanup all at once, can help ease the transition. Keeping a journal of meaningful memories, rather than holding on to physical reminders of every past event, can also help shift the focus from possessions to experiences. Hoarding may not always reach extreme levels, but even mild difficulty letting go can impact quality of life. Recognizing this challenge as a natural part of aging allows for a more compassionate approach. By addressing it with understanding rather than frustration, it becomes possible to create a space that feels both emotionally comforting and physically safe. As we continue, we will uncover another, lesser-known challenge that many seniors face, one that often goes unnoticed, but can deeply affect daily life. The fourth unspoken challenge: repetitive behaviors and fixations. Aging brings many changes in how the brain processes information and routines. One of the more surprising shifts that often happens is the development of repetitive behaviors or fixations on certain tasks, objects, or routines. This can manifest in different ways. Some seniors begin checking doors multiple times before leaving the house. Others repeatedly ask the same question, even if it was answered just moments before. Some may fixate on small details, such as organizing items in a specific way or feeling anxious if their routine is disrupted. For loved ones and caregivers, these behaviors can be frustrating. It can feel like no matter how much reassurance is given, the same concerns keep coming up. Conversations may become repetitive, and certain habits may seem unnecessary or excessive. However, what appears as simple repetition is often a response to deeper emotional and cognitive shifts. One of the main reasons repetitive behaviors emerge is the way the brain handles memory as it ages. Short-term memory becomes less reliable, making it easy to forget whether a task has already been completed. Someone might not remember if they locked the door, so they check again just to be sure. They may not recall asking a question, so they ask it again without realizing they are repeating themselves. This is not intentional, but rather a result of the brain needing extra reinforcement to feel secure. Another factor is the need for structure and control. As life becomes less predictable with age, routines provide a sense of stability. When many aspects of daily life feel uncertain, small rituals can offer comfort. Checking the stove several times, arranging items in a specific way, or sticking to the same routine every day can create a feeling of order in a world that may feel increasingly unfamiliar. Anxiety also plays a role. For some seniors, repetitive actions are a way of coping with underlying stress or fear. Fixating on certain routines can serve as a distraction from worries about health, loneliness, or the future. Repeating actions or phrases provides a sense of control, even if it does not change the situation itself. In some cases, repetitive behaviors can be linked to neurological changes, including early signs of cognitive decline or dementia. When the brain struggles to retain new information, repetition becomes a way of reinforcing thoughts and actions. This is why certain questions or stories may be repeated multiple times in the same conversation. The person is not intentionally trying to be difficult. They genuinely may not remember they already said something. For family members and caregivers, responding to these behaviors with patience is crucial. Instead of pointing out that something has already been said or done, offering gentle reassurance can be more effective. If someone repeatedly asks a question, responding with kindness rather than frustration helps maintain their dignity. If they feel the need to check things multiple times, finding ways to create a sense of security, such as using reminders or visual cues, can help reduce anxiety. For those experiencing these behaviors themselves, acknowledging the patterns and finding strategies to manage them can be helpful. Writing down reminders, keeping a checklist, or using technology to track completed tasks can create reassurance without the need for constant repetition. Engaging in activities that stimulate the brain, such as puzzles, reading, or learning new skills, can also help strengthen cognitive function and reduce the urge to fixate on repetitive actions. Repetitive behaviors may seem small, but they can have a significant impact on daily life. Understanding that they are often driven by memory changes, anxiety, or the need for control allows for a more compassionate approach. By addressing them with patience and support, it becomes easier to navigate this challenge without unnecessary frustration. Next, we will explore another unexpected shift that happens with age, one that can lead to awkward or uncomfortable situations if not properly understood. The fifth unspoken challenge: social inappropriateness and bluntness. Aging brings many changes in personality and behavior, some of which can be surprising or even embarrassing in social situations. One of the more unexpected shifts that often happens is a loss of social filter. A person who was once polite and reserved may suddenly make blunt comments, ask overly personal questions, or express opinions in ways that seem unusually direct. They may point out someone's weight, make comments about appearance, or say things that would have once been kept private. For family members and caregivers, this behavior can be confusing. It may seem out of character, leaving them wondering why someone who was always thoughtful is now speaking without hesitation. These moments can be awkward, especially in public or around people who are not familiar with the changes that can come with aging. There are several reasons why this happens. One of the most significant factors is changes in the brain's ability to regulate impulses. As people age, the frontal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for self-control and judgment, can begin to function differently. This can result in a decline in the ability to filter thoughts before speaking. The instinct to pause and consider how words might be received is not as strong as it once was. Another reason is a shift in priorities. Many seniors reach a stage in life where they no longer feel the need to sugarcoat their thoughts. After decades of experiences, they may feel they have earned the right to speak their mind. The patience for small talk or avoiding uncomfortable truths may fade. leading to a more straightforward approach to communication. In some cases, this behavior is linked to neurological conditions such as dementia, which can reduce a person's ability to recognize social norms. When certain areas of the brain are affected, the ability to interpret social cues can become impaired. What seems like an inappropriate comment may not be intentional, but rather a result of cognitive decline. Hearing loss can also play a role. When a person struggles to hear conversations clearly, they may not always be aware of how loud they are speaking or how their words are being perceived. This can sometimes make comments sound more aggressive or abrupt than they were meant to be. For loved ones and caregivers, handling these situations requires patience and understanding. Instead of reacting with embarrassment or frustration, gentle redirection can be helpful. If a comment is inappropriate, calmly shifting the conversation or offering a lighthearted response can prevent discomfort without making the person feel ashamed. For those experiencing this shift themselves, being aware of the change and making small adjustments can help maintain positive social interactions. Taking an extra moment before speaking or using humor to soften direct statements can make conversations feel more balanced. Surrounding oneself with people who are understanding and accepting can also make a big difference in feeling comfortable while expressing thoughts honestly. This stage of life should not feel like walking on eggshells, but at the same time, social connections thrive when communication is thoughtful. Finding a balance between honesty and kindness allows relationships to remain strong and enjoyable. Next, we will explore another behavior that can disrupt daily life in unexpected ways, especially when it begins affecting sleep and energy levels. The sixth unspoken challenge: sleep disturbances and confusing night and day. A good night's sleep is something many people take for granted in younger years, but as the body ages, maintaining a healthy sleep cycle becomes more difficult. Many seniors experience trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or feeling rested in the morning. Some find themselves waking up at odd hours, while others start feeling tired much earlier in the evening than they used to. Over time, these shifts can lead to exhaustion, frustration, and a loss of energy throughout the day. One of the most common sleep issues that comes with aging is a disruption in the body's internal clock. The brain naturally follows a rhythm that tells it when to wake up and when to rest. But as people get older, this rhythm can become less stable. Many seniors find themselves waking up much earlier than they used to, sometimes before the sun rises, even when they have not had enough rest. Others may find that they are more prone to napping during the day, which then makes it harder to sleep at night. Changes in sleep patterns can also be linked to a decrease in melatonin production. Melatonin is the hormone that signals the body when it is time to sleep. As people age, the body produces less of it, making it harder to wind down in the evening. This can lead to restlessness at night and drowsiness during the day, creating a frustrating cycle of fatigue. Another major factor is physical discomfort. Many older adults struggle with joint pain, muscle stiffness, or medical conditions that make it difficult to find a comfortable sleeping position. Issues like arthritis, acid reflux, or frequent trips to the bathroom during the night can cause frequent awakenings, making it difficult to get uninterrupted sleep. Anxiety and stress also play a role. Worrying about health, finances, or family matters can make it difficult to relax, leading to long nights spent lying awake, overthinking. Without proper rest, the mind and body become more fatigued, making it even harder to cope with daily challenges. Sleep disturbances are more than just an inconvenience. Poor sleep quality has been linked to cognitive decline, weakened immune function, and an increased risk of heart disease. Without proper rest, memory, focus, and mood can suffer, leading to irritability and difficulty managing daily tasks. There are ways to improve sleep quality, even when these challenges arise. Creating a relaxing bedtime routine, avoiding screens before bed, and keeping a consistent sleep schedule can help reset the body's internal clock. Limiting caffeine intake in the afternoon and making the bedroom a quiet, comfortable space can also encourage better rest. For those struggling with early waking or frequent awakenings, exposure to natural sunlight during the day can help regulate melatonin production. Gentle stretching, meditation, or calming music in the evening can also make it easier to transition into sleep. In some cases, Speaking with a doctor about sleep aids or melatonin supplements may be necessary, but natural solutions should always be tried first. Adjusting to changes in sleep can be frustrating, but finding small ways to improve rest can have a major impact on energy levels and overall well-being. Sleep is not just about resting the body. It is essential for mental clarity, emotional balance, and maintaining a good quality of life. In the next section, we will explore a challenge that can be just as exhausting, not only for the person experiencing it, but also for their loved ones. This one has the power to change relationships in ways few people expect. The seventh unspoken challenge: emotional outbursts and sudden mood swings. Aging brings many changes, not just in the body, but also in emotions. Some people who were once calm and composed may find themselves experiencing sudden emotional outbursts, crying unexpectedly, or feeling overwhelmed by frustration. These mood shifts can happen quickly, leaving both the person experiencing them and those around them confused about what triggered the reaction. Many seniors notice that their emotions feel more intense than they used to. Situations that would not have bothered them before may now bring strong feelings of sadness, anger, or irritation. A simple disagreement, a minor inconvenience, or a memory from the past can suddenly feel overwhelming. Some people begin reacting to situations with much more intensity than they expect, while others feel like they are on an emotional roller coaster, with no explanation for why their moods are changing so quickly. There are several reasons why this happens. One of the most significant is changes in brain chemistry. As people age, hormone levels fluctuate, and the ability to regulate emotions can shift. The brain does not process feelings in the same way it once did, leading to stronger emotional reactions or difficulty calming down after a stressful moment. Fatigue and sleep problems can also contribute to emotional instability. A restless night can leave someone feeling more sensitive, irritable, or prone to emotional ups and downs. When the body does not get enough rest, the brain struggles to manage stress effectively, making it easier to feel overwhelmed. Underlying health issues may also play a role. Depression and anxiety are common in older adults, yet they often go unnoticed because their symptoms do not always match traditional expectations. Instead of sadness, depression may show up as frustration, impatience, or difficulty finding motivation. Anxiety may not appear as nervousness, but rather as an increase in irritability or a sense of being constantly on edge. Cognitive changes can also make it harder to manage emotions. When memory becomes less reliable or problem-solving skills slow down, situations that once felt manageable can now seem confusing or frustrating. This can lead to emotional outbursts, particularly in moments of stress or misunderstanding. For loved ones and caregivers, these mood swings can be challenging to navigate. It is easy to take them personally, but recognizing that they are often beyond the person's control can help shift the response. Instead of reacting to the emotion itself, looking for the underlying cause can lead to better solutions. Asking whether the person is feeling tired, hungry, or overwhelmed can sometimes reveal the real issue behind the outburst. For those experiencing these emotional shifts, acknowledging the changes and practicing self-care can make a difference. Engaging in calming activities like walking, journaling, or listening to music can help regulate emotions. Establishing a daily routine that includes moments of relaxation can provide stability and reduce stress. Talking with a trusted friend, family member, or professional can also help put emotions into perspective and prevent them from feeling overwhelming. Mood swings and emotional outbursts are not a sign of weakness. They are a natural part of how the brain and body change with age. By understanding why they happen and taking steps to manage them, it becomes easier to maintain emotional balance and improve overall well-being. As we move into the final challenge, we will explore a shift that often goes unnoticed at first, but can have a major impact on both physical and mental health. This one is one of the most surprising and least discussed aspects of aging. Aging is a journey filled with changes that many people do not anticipate. Some of these shifts are physical, while others affect emotions, behavior, and daily routines in ways that can feel frustrating or confusing. The truth is, no one talks enough about the realities of growing older, leaving many people unprepared for what lies ahead. The challenges we have explored: irritability, paranoia, hoarding, repetitive behaviors, social bluntness, sleep disturbances, emotional outbursts, and unexplained fatigue gear, all more common than people realize. They may appear gradually or seem to come out of nowhere, catching both seniors and their loved ones off guard. These behaviors are not signs of weakness, nor are they things to be ashamed of. They are natural shifts that happen as the brain and body adapt to new stages of life. The most important thing to remember is that these changes do not have to define the aging process. By recognizing them early, it becomes easier to manage their effects, find solutions, and make adjustments that improve overall well-being. Small lifestyle changes, better sleep habits, stress management techniques, and social engagement can all help navigate these challenges in a healthier way. Seeking medical advice when symptoms interfere with daily life is also crucial, as some of these behaviors may be linked to underlying health conditions that can be addressed. For family members and caregivers, understanding these shifts allows for more patience and empathy. Instead of feeling frustrated or helpless, recognizing why these behaviors happen makes it possible to respond with compassion rather than conflict. Creating routines, maintaining open communication, and offering gentle reassurance can go a long way in making loved ones feel supported rather than judged. Aging should not be something to fear. It is a stage of life that can still be filled with joy, connection, and purpose. The key is awareness. Knowing what to expect and how to handle these changes makes it easier to adapt and find ways to continue living fully. If this video helped you understand something new about the aging process, take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who might find it helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. It costs nothing, but it helps a lot in bringing more valuable content your way. Aging is a journey best traveled with knowledge and support, so let's continue learning together. See you in the next video.